Okay, so this week we're looking at worded problems for the data. So let's have a look at number 1. 4 people have an average, the mean height of 162 centimetres. 1 more student joins the group who is 170 centimetres tall. What is the new average height of the 5 people? So really what we need to do first is work out what the total height of the 4 people were in the first place. So we don't know individually how tall they were, but if we do 4 times 162, we know that the total height, if you add up these 4 people, must be 648 centimetres. Now if 1 more student joins the group, so that's the 4 people here, plus the 5th person, and now we divide it by 5. So what we've done here is we've worked out the mean. 4 people plus the next one is 5, because there's 5 people, we divide by 5. So 648 plus 170 equals, divided by 5, 163.6 centimetres is the new mean. And it looks about right. Because this person's taller, it's moved the mean up a little bit. Number 2. Dave has an average mean again, scoring record of 1.375 goals per game in soccer after 8 games. By 10 games, Dave has a new average of 1.7 goals per game. How many goals did Dave score combined in the last 2 games? Okay, so similar to the first question, let's work out how many goals Dave scored. So after 8 games, his average was 1.375. 8 multiplied by 375 is 11. So Dave scored 11 goals in the first 8 games. Now we don't know how many scored in the last 2, but if I set it up the same as here, 11 plus however many scored, so this is goals in game 9 and 10, and after 10 games his average was now 1.7. So it's the same as this question, but this time we had the answer and we've got to work backwards. So because this was divided by 10 here, let's times that by 10, and you get 11 plus x must be 17, and now you can clearly see 11 plus 6. So Dave scored 6 goals in his last 2 games. It could have been 3 and 3 or 2 and 4, we don't know, but it just says how many goals combined, so we know the answer is 6. Number 3. Oh, I like these questions. 5 numbers have a median of 7, a range of 6, a mode of 5, and a mean of 7.4. What are the numbers? Now when you're doing a question like this, 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I always work out where they're going to be. So we've done the 5 numbers. Has a median of 7. Median is the middle must be 7. A range of 6, we can't do anything with that yet. A mode of 5. Mode is the most common, so there needs to be at least 2 5s, and because I'm putting these in order, those 2 must be a 5. So we've done that one. Now we can go back to the range. If the range is 6, if that's 5, range of 6 would make this plus 6, 11. So we've only got one number to find here. Well, if it has a mean of 7.4, that means that these 5 numbers divided by 5 must equal 7.4. And that's what the numbers add up to. So we add these together and divide by 5 equals 7.4. So let's work backwards. We do 7.4 multiplied by 5 is 37. So the numbers must add up to 37, these 5 numbers. So I'm going to work backwards. If I take away 11, 7, 5 and 5, if I take away all these numbers, my missing number is 9. And that's the only way to get the mean of 7.4. They are the 5 numbers. Number 4. Find the mean from the following data. That's alright. So the mean is the total divided by how many there are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. And the total, 6 plus 8 plus 5 plus 7 plus 6 plus 7 plus 28 plus 6 plus 7 is 80. And 80 divided by 9 is 8.89 to 2 decimal places. We found the mean. Explain why the mean is inaccurate. So what this means is that mean is actually higher than pretty much every single one of these numbers bar 1. And it's accurate because 28 is an outlier. So So a number that's really different compared to all the others is called an outlier, and that's why it's made our mean too big. And the last question, if you had to find the average of the data, what would you use and why? Well, you would use the median. And the reason we use the median, the middle number, is because it doesn't take into account the outliers, or take into account the outliers. And that's what the median is used for. So that's our 4 worded problems that we've got to attempt this week on data.